Yeah, Baden, what you doing?
What you do?
Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of Mrs. Apothecaries' Alpha Legion journey.
Hello. Thank you for joining us today. I built a dreadnought. Built a Contemptor dreadnought.
To be fair, let's face it though, you sort of sat down and crammed the rest of the Age of Darkness box and did all of it.
Yeah.
And then the people
We'd run out of primer, so
Yeah.
get it all built.
Yeah.
And then when we buy some primer, then prime it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the lovely people over on Twitter decided that you were going to do the Contemptor next.
They did. There was a bit of a poll, and that came out on top.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was going to be the Spartan, but
yeah,
Contemptor.
no, the Contemptor.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed building it. It was a lot easier than the Leviathan to build. A lot less.
Part?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you didn't have the same thing with like the leg wasn't like 5 different chunks.
It's much easier to build.
Yeah. And
put together. I do have a habit of putting the bits on top of
instructions. Like where everything goes.
Yeah, because then I don't lose bits or get them wrong or put them in the wrong place. So yeah, it was much easier to put together. Tried out some new glue, which I kind of liked it. It's like a gel, rather than a runny glue.
We are definitely a super glue family as opposed to It's because we've got a lack of patience.
Yeah.
We zero. We have none.
Yeah, none.
No patience.
No patience, and yeah.
Probably not a good advice actually. Like you should, plastic glue, but we generally use super glue. But this gel stuff has been it's been really good. But you've enjoyed the kit better than the Leviathan.
Yes.
Is it a more enjoyable? I mean, a lot of the questions are going to be this. A lot of the questions are very similar to the Leviathan because obviously it's a walker and it's the whole sort of you're new to the Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
So there's already been a plastic kit for the Contemptor, and it was very plain, very bog standard, and very simple. It just stood there.
Yeah.
This has got a lot of more pose to it.
Yeah, definitely. I played around with the pose and got it doing something weird. I still had issues getting the hip joint in the right place. But this new glue, once it was on, that was it. There's no coming off. So once it was in position, that was it. No sliding, no moving.
And for this one, you tried the slap chop method.
Yeah, first time trying it. I've seen a couple of people do it on YouTube. It didn't work for me.
No.
But it's something I will try again. But I went overboard with the contrast paint, so I ended up coming back over it with a layer of Sotek green, which has made it more matte. It's the right colour for Alpha Legion.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a lot more matte than the contrast. The contrast looks more shiny.
But you finished it during one of our streams a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you've still been doing like the lore dive alongside learning the rules and painting up an army and everything else.
Yeah.
And you were saying how there's a part in, I think it's in the main rulebook where it mentions how because they're all over the place, there's a wide variation in armor.
Yeah.
Color.
Yeah.
As opposed to the pattern of armor, but the color of their armor is.
So the thing I read was that Alpha Legion don't actually have one overarching theme for their army because they are so spread out and.
Well, they have an overarching theme. It's just the
color scheme.
Color scheme varies.
Rather than theme. There are, but I think that's part of them being sneaky. Is they infiltrate. So their armour needs to look like whatever legion they're infiltrating or wherever they're going.
Yeah.
So there is no overarching colour scheme in the lore. They've got purple, white.
Because I always thought it was weird how there was this like they were this bright. They were supposed to be like infiltrators and stuff, yet they always seem to get portrayed as very brightly coloured. Like that, it's a very bright blue.
Yeah.
So it was, when you found that, it was kind of interesting to read, and I was like, makes me think of them in a different way now. But I mean, you look at the comparison between the two you've gone for, and you've got that portrayal, so to speak.
Somewhat.
Like, yeah. Like one's very shiny and one's very matte.
Yeah. But that's just the difference between the contrast paint and the everyday paint.
It wasn't intentional. Complete and utter happy accident, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, complete and utter happy accident.
So I'm still waiting for transfers for them, but
when they come back in stock.
When they come back in stock.
Yeah.
And that will just finish them off nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's next? Are you wanting to do another poll, or is there any?
I currently have 40 beakies, 10 terminators, and a tank.
Tanky dank. Oh, you got a character
To do as well. So I might go for some beakies.
You might go for some beakies.
Yeah.
Beakies.
Yeah. Play around with them a little bit. Add a bit of colour or different colour. Try and get my use of contrast a bit better before I go for the tank.
I mean, personally, people do say that contrasts don't work really well on armour. I disagree with that because I've used contrasts and they work perfectly fine. I mean, have you looked at different colour schemes, like you not using contrasts?
No. No. I, to be fair, I'm dreadful for that. I just want to do my own thing, and following a colour scheme is just not. It's not something I'm good at all. If I see a colour scheme, my immediate reaction is I want to do the complete opposite.
Yeah, which is fine. It's a good thing. Like doing legions have such variety.
Yeah.
We've got law to state that certain battalions of a particular legion were a different colour. You look at like the Ultramarines had a destroyer. I think it was an entire chapter, and they were all black. Like they're black. Yeah. That's their colour scheme with the blue pauldron.
There was something about Alpha Legion and purple, so I might add like some purple into the beakies,
like in the shoulder pads, or
somewhere.
The beak itself,
maybe.
Like,
I do like the teal with the screaming bell.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's a nice combination.
It is a nice combination. I do like the screaming bell. Like that was a find as well.
Yeah, it's a lovely colour.
I mean, I guess with like, I think a lot of people, I've heard it said by a lot of people that heresy, because it's like, it's a little bit like a historical. It's not a historical thing at all. It's a game at the end of the day. It doesn't stop you being any less creative. No. And I think obviously being creative and trying your own thing and adding your own flair to a legion or a battalion or a chapter, whatever, within that legion is really interesting.
Yeah.
It brings us your own element of fun to it as well.
Yeah, I definitely think I want to incorporate a purple somewhere, because that definitely piqued my interest when it's mentioned the purple.
I was in a separate room when I heard you squeal. You were like, "Ooh, purple!" Like literally, the concept of adding purple to these guys was like, "Ooh, yay!" It was hilarious.
I do like purple.
Do you like purple? So, Beaky's next.
I think so, yeah.
Beaky's next.
Yeah.
Right. Okay then. Well, I guess that means you lot who are viewing are just gonna have to wait for the next one then. You've got what, 10 with shoulder pads already sorted out?
Yes.
So get to work, you. Get cracking.
And we'll see you in a month's time.
Yeah.
For the next update.
Yep. Don't forget, if you like this video and the rest of the content, please don't forget.
Smash all the buttons.
Yeah, smash all the buttons.